Morning guys, so today's job is looking at the Dahlia tubers. I'm going to get the Dahlia tubers out, check them all over and then repackage them back up. So I'll leave the camera running and just show you what I do. So I actually use old bed sheets to wrap my dahlias in. A lot of people use newspaper or straw. My theory of that is that that's all compostable, so that's going to rot whilst they're sat there. Bed sheets are kind of designed to absorb moisture, and then like if it was a sunnier day today, I'd probably like hang these back out on the line and just let them dry off. But it's a bit grey today, so I won't be doing that. But yeah, I've used bed sheets now for years. My granddad and my dad used them as well, and it just means at the end of when you've planted them out, you can give them a good soak, put them on the line, dry them out and use them again next year. So I'm just getting these out of the crate, and I'm pretty happy with them, if I'm being honest. I'm not seeing much mouse nibbling, which is always a worry. These are kept in a metal shed, so there's always an extra risk of damp in a metal shed because they tend to sweat more than a wooden shed. But we put them on a crate to keep them off of the cold floor, and I keep them in big plastic boxes. The idea is the mice can't run up the boxes, but because we put ground sheets over the top, sometimes the mice do run over and get in. But I'm really impressed with these. I'm not seeing much damp at all, not seeing much rot, considering we've had so much wet. But this is only the first box, so let's not get too excited. Looking pretty good. This was a really big box full. This is a really encouraging sign. I'm going to get the other box out and check them over as well, but there really isn't anything too much at all. Not really any rot, not really any mice damage. They're still looking really dry. Really happy with that. So yeah, I'm going to box these back up now, and then I'll get the other box out, and fingers crossed they're looking the same. So this is the second box, and yeah, I'm going to be honest, normally I would expect a bit more damp than this, but we had a really hot autumn, and I had these in a glass greenhouse drying off, so I think they were really well dried before they went in. But normally I would expect a little bit more of seeing like this, and this one here has gone really soft. I am going to keep it though, these are hard. I might just cut off these few softy bits, if you can see that. Got the white there, so I'll definitely cut off those few bits on that one. But yeah, I mean, predominantly it's all pretty good. I mean, even that. So yeah, I'm pretty chuffed. Lovely. Okay, yeah, so with this one, I'm just going to cut off those few bad bits. And then, like, this here is very soft, so I'm going to cut that bit there off. My rooting powder, hence all the white, has spilled over in my drawers, which is very frustrating. And now I do need to find a way of trying to clean it up. Okay, that one there's a bit soft. I'll just get rid of that. Right, I'm happy with that. So I have chickened out from picking up the other box because I'm a bit worried there might actually still be a mouse in it. So I've kind of picked the dahlias out. I can't see a mouse in there, but you can see that there's been a little bit of nibbling. Now I don't think they've been in there too long because there isn't very much damage at all. There's one or two just tiny little bits. That's fine, the dahlias can survive. There's no major nibbling, but you can see in this box that it's wetter, and sometimes I do wonder if you get mice in that, if that's toiletry rather than the actual dampness, which is a bit gross. But But yeah, you can definitely see, and I'll take the camera over in a minute, you can see like they've made a little nest in the fleece, but it doesn't look like they've actually ate too many of the dahlias. So whether they've only just gone in there and I've managed to just randomly pick like a day or two after they've gone in there and they haven't done much damage. I don't know, maybe I'm just really lucky. So you can see this box is just, I don't even know why there's so much dirt in it. None of the other boxes have so much dirt. So maybe that is where they've been nibbling. Maybe they've ate a whole tuber and I can't even tell. Who knows? That's obviously a bit of a nest there that they've made. Yeah, not loving this box. So I'm going to get rid of all of that in there in a minute. I'm going to go and put some rubber gloves on. And yeah, then I'm going to shake it out and try and potentially dry out the tubers. You can just see that they're just a bit wetter than the other boxes. So yeah, so when we get to March, I'll do another video and I'll show you how I pop my dahlias up, the small ones, and how I like get them to start germinating. I don't tend to do a lot of cuttings for dahlias. I know a lot of people do, but it's not something I do much of. I just don't have the space, and I'm not great with cuttings if I'm being honest. I do cuttings for chrysanthemums, which I'm going to show you a video of soon. But yeah, when it comes to dahlias, I tend to just buy in new tubers. Or maybe like occasionally the tubers will just divide really easily, but they are, everyone says they're really easy to do cuttings, but personally I don't find it particularly easy to do them. So yeah, so that's my tips on dahlias. So today I'm actually going to start planting out some stocks that I grew in autumn into the little tent, polytunnel as I call it. I was really behind at getting these planted, so they didn't germinate until about late October, which is quite late for stocks, but I think they're going to be okay. They're looking all right. I have put on a nice bit of size, so I'm pretty happy with that. Like, they might not flower as early as I would want them to, but I think they're going to be okay. I think they're going to be fine. So we're going to get these planted out today. We're looking at about 50 to 75 per pallet collar. I'll show you that in a sec. You can plant stocks quite close together because they actually kind of force each other to grow up straighter if they're planted closer together. The stocks do have a tendency to bend a bit as well, so I probably will maybe put a bit of netting just to try and give them a little bit of extra support as well as they get a little bit taller. So I have put a little bit of feed in this border just to try and give them an extra little boost as well. I'm thinking sort of 5 to 6 across by maybe 10 rows is what I'm aiming for. Yeah, they don't have to be perfectly straight. I'm not very good at doing very straight lines, we'll see. So there's 69 being planted in here. Now these are lavender. So it'll be interesting to see if these do actually all come up as lavender. Now when you do stock plants, you're meant to germinate seeds and then put them into like a cold a fridge or somewhere for, I think it's like a week or two. And then the idea is the double flowered ones go like a yellowy colour, like a paler, greeny, slightly yellowy colour, and the single ones stay a bit darker, so that you can pick out, say, the doubles and leave the singles. Now, unfortunately, I don't have anywhere to do that, so I have to just pick out an amount and plant them. So last year I found that predominantly they were all singles, if I'm being honest. So yeah, it'd be nice if we had a lot of doubles, because that's what's nicer, but the singles are still nice. And in like the market bouquets, I find they're fine. They just give off such a nice scent. So for a lot of people it's not worth bothering with, because each plant is only one flower, but they just give such a nice scent that even if you just have one in a small bouquet, it just really lifts that whole bouquet and just makes it that little bit nicer. So for me, I just think they are, like I said, they're a little bit behind, but I think, you know, with a bit of sunshine and stuff, they could come on, and we could maybe still get them end of May. Be good. So yeah, fingers crossed.